Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back for some more Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. We'll talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers offense today. Obviously, plenty of criticism can be thrown defensively after giving up really 34 points, 41 points in total, not including the pick six by Mike Hilton. But the Pittsburgh Steelers offense was equally as terrible as a defense, scoring 10 points, functionally three. The last touchdown came meaningless garbage time. Doesn't really count, does not really matter, I should say. But what I want to talk about today is just the overall clunkiness and ugliness of this offense and just some basic fundamental stuff they're not getting right. So before we talk about any of the higher level scheme and execution type of stuff, there is a get back to basics from a assignment, fundamental, just the building blocks of an offense this team is struggling with and struggled with in particular during this Bengals game. First example comes here, 2nd and 9 at the Bengals 38, just a 10-0 game at this point. So Pittsburgh, not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, despite digging themselves an early hole. What you're going to get here, 2-by-2 formation, two receivers to this side, receiver tight end, two receivers to this side, receiver tight end running mirrored route combination here. And because of this press coverage, the linebacker pressing on Deontay Johnson here within that 5 yard chuck kind of safe space, you're going to get these guys bunched up, and that ruins the read and forces the check down. And again, just little stuff like that and the spacing and the timing of the route that's going to really look funny in this game. And so we see it here. Frymuth and Johnson, they kind of both get kind of running into each other here because of the press coverage from the linebacker right here. And so you see Ben looking that way. We'll check it out from the end zone view here in a moment. And so no one ran the wrong route here. I should point that out. It just kind of got bunched up there initially because of the press. So Johnson is sitting correctly and Farmer's running the stick route correctly. You see similar options or similar routes from the guys above. Gentry running the curl route, the receiver to the top here running the out route. But it just the timing of it isn't good. The spacing of it isn't quite good, and so it really ruins Ben's read and forces him to hit the check down to Najee Harris for just a short gain. So we'll check it out here from the end zone view, and you see the late press there by the linebacker. I believe that's Jermaine Pratt. Ben wants to throw it to one of these guys here, but they're on top of each other, and so Ben has to come off the read here, hit it underneath to Najee Harris for just a very short gain. Johnson came open at the end, but I don't blame Ben for coming off that read because those guys are on top of each other and you can't assume they're going to figure stuff out or get open in time here, and that internal clock's going off in your head. And so Ben's forced to check it out. He gets pressure late, so if he holds on to that football anymore, he may have taken a sack here on this play. So just that ugliness, just clunkiness of the spacing against press here does not function the way it should, and it results in a check down here from Ben. No team is as bad at the running back and tight end screen as the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's been true for quite some time, and you don't see too many running back screens in the Steelers playbook because they're just so poor at it. You do see an attempted one here, and you see why they don't call too many of those. They get sniffed out right away here by the D tackle, number 92, B.J. Hill, who reads Harris the whole way. There is blocking out in front if this, if Hill wasn't there, but that's not the case obviously, and Hill ends up sniffing this one out, and Ben has to throw the ball to the dirt because there's no really good chance of him trying to complete this pass. Maybe you could have fit it in there, but you trust defensive tackle can't make the play, and so Ben under pressure on this one off of play action has to just kind of kill the play here, and so just waste the plays. This comes on. Let's say down in distance here. It's going to be 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 play that's basically dead from the get go. You're in 2nd and 10, and so not where you want to be as an offense when your 1st and 10 play goes functionally nowhere without even a chance of it working in the first place. 17-3 Bengals here, second quarter. It's a big situation for Pittsburgh. They're at Cincinnati's 49. They're trying to get back into this game, facing a 3rd and 6. And this time it does seem like there are some incorrect routes being run here. We'll check to the top 3-by-1 formation, bunch to the top here, three receivers. This nub, Pat Frymuth, backside here. It's a pretty common formation this team's been running quite a lot this season under new OC Matt Canada. And they're running some crosses underneath here. And I think some wires get crossed between newly elevated receiver Anthony Miller and then Chase Claypool. I don't know who's to blame here. You kind of think that the newer guy Anthony Miller might be the person running the wrong route here, but you see Miller and Claypool running underneath right into each other basically as Hubbard 94 drops out. Only a three-man rush here. The Bengals dropping 8 in the coverage, and they're basically all occupying the same space. And that invites a lot of Bengals there to rally and close on the football. One, two, three guys here. Miller makes actually a nice snag here to catch this one, but there's really no chance for that run after because of all those Bengals swarming to the football. So again, it's hard to see exactly what went wrong here. Maybe Claypool is supposed to come over top of these guys and create more of a levels type of concept. It's hard to say. But you're seeing all those guys here in the same space. It's bringing all those Bengals to the football, and the play basically goes nowhere. And Pittsburgh has to punt on third down. So this is a very clear indication of the spacing and the route not being run correctly here, the concept not being executed as it was schemed up to be. Those guys should not be that close, should not be that bunched up, and it forces a punt. Late in the first half, 3rd and 1, Pittsburgh down 24-3. You got to get points here before the half. If you do that, you get the ball to start the second half. Maybe you have a chance to get back into this game here. 3rd and 1, a very obvious got to have situation. RPO here from the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see Ben decide to throw the football here against this pretty loaded box or just a single high safety. You get a wide open Chase Claypool here on the slant route, kind of this common concept Pittsburgh's been running here. It's a slant kind of chop route, so you get the slant here from Claypool, this fade route here from number 2 on this play, the receiver, and Claypool's wide open. Ben does double clutch his ball. I'm not sure why he did. I don't know if he thought maybe this slot corner was going to come off number 2 here and take the slant. I'm not 100% sure what the reason was. So you can probably give some criticism to Ben on this play, but Claypool, bottom line to me, has to make this catch. He's putting his hand up. If you're a receiver that puts your hand up in the air saying I'm open, throw me the ball, you better make the catch. And so, is this a perfect play from Ben? No. Is it a little bit low? Maybe. Is the pass late? Yeah, because of the double clutch. But Claypool has to make this catch. He just bobbles it 14 different ways and then gets popped there by Jesse Bates, number 30, and can't complete the catch. And Pittsburgh has to punt on 4th and 1. So Claypool has to make that play. No excuses. Again, you can throw some criticism to Ben for this play and why he double clutched and why this pass is maybe a little bit low and not leading him the way that it should be. But still, bottom line is any receiver in the NFL, in my mind, especially one as physically talented and gifted as Chase Claypool is, he's got to make this catch here. It's a big third and 1 play. And maybe that's one reason why this guy does not play in the slot as much as he possibly could. Because in those gotta have situations, those big money downs, you could have a receiver that you can trust, make the catch, make that tough play, and move the sticks. And Claypool, just a really ugly drop on this play. These final two clips are at the end of the game. It's 41-3. The game doesn't really matter at this point, but it's still just fundamental issues this team that struggles with really the entire game, start to finish. Kendrick Green here snap a little bit high over Ben's head, but goes through Ben's hands as well. And you ultimately get on a run play, just Ben throwing it at McFarland's feet just to end the play. And so Green's had some snapping issues. Obviously, you saw what happened in overtime in the Lions game, that one that sailed way over Rudolph's head that potentially cost that team a chance to get in the field goal range. His snaps have been a little high this year. This one isn't as egregious. It's a little bit high. Ben has to be able to catch it though. He does not, unfortunately. I think takes his eyes off of the football there to try to look at the mesh point there to hand the ball off to McFarland. But just a wasted play, and so you get no chance for a positive outcome. Although I suppose you could argue with the way Pittsburgh ran the ball in this game, their chances of success on this run were probably pretty limited. But just fundamental stuff that's not happening correctly. Last example that actually came a couple moments before the last clip, the green snap that Ben couldn't corral. Chase Claypool, top of the screen here, just a very simple drop. And so Claypool, top of the screen, running this comeback route, works back to the football. That's all well and good, but just simply drops the football. And that's an obvious mistake there. And again, it's late in the game, doesn't matter too much, not a ton, obviously, but Claypool, just the inconsistency of his game, had a couple nice catches, a couple 40-yard plays downfield, but just a simple drop. You got to make those catches there. Cornerback over top of you, sure, but got to pull that one in. So, just from an overall fundamental standpoint, Pittsburgh too sloppy with its routes concepts and its spacing and just fundamental type stuff like catching the football, snapping the football correctly. And I could have showed you, another half dozen plays. So this was only 6 plays here of those fundamental issues, but that 6 out of 59 snaps, that's over 10% of the plays were just simple fundamental problems that stop these plays from having any chance of being successful. And when you're struggling already as it is as an offense, Pittsburgh certainly not a potent group, and then you compound that with some real fundamental issues, not winning at the point of attack and those things, along those lines, you're really going to have a hard time scoring. And that's a reason why this team had 3 points up until the final minutes of this Bengals game. So I'm sure that video was hard to watch. It's not fun watching this team just struggle in so many basic, fundamental, high schoolian type of ways. But that's where the Steelers offense is at, and they're going to need to be a whole lot better against the Ravens on Sunday. And certainly, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense will have to be a whole lot better as well. I do like the Steelers' chances of being better offensively than they do defensively right now, at least for this Bengals game. But at this point, you have a lot of confidence in either side of the football. I do not. And it's reason in these that really just frustrate you and say, how does this team get back on track? You really have to get back to the root and fundamental type stuff. Disappointing that that's a talking point here. 3 quarters into the season that we're talking about getting back to fundamental football just to try to revitalize this offense and this team and have a chance to turn the season around. But that's where this offense is at. I think these 6 clips prove that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. You guys have not done so already. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.